Today our topic is about imperfect labor market. It is an imperfect labor market. Yesterday we were talking about perfect labor market when there were many buyers, many sellers of labor services to produce similar types of products. Today we are going to study monopsony. Monopsony means a single buyer and many sellers. Monopsony means a single buyer and many sellers. In other words, we rarely find a single buyer of a product in the market and there are many sellers who are going to sell the same product to the single buyer. Very rare. But in labor market, we find that there is a single employer and many workers are willing to render the services to that employer. What I said? When we find a single employer of the labor services and many workers are there to supply their working hours to that employer, that market structure is called what? Monopsony. Clear? A single employer who is going to buy the services of labor and there are many workers who are going to render the services to that employer. So actually we studied monopoly. Monopoly means what? A single seller and many buyers. And a monopolist was the price setter. What he was? He was the price setter. Price setter means he was having the power to set the price in the market. Okay? So in the labor market, we find that this monopsonist is going to be the wage setter. He uses his power to set the wages in the labor market. He is the wage setter. Alright? He is the wage setter because he uses his power of being the single employer. Like he was a single seller of the product in the product market. So here he is the single employer of labor services and he has the power to set the wages. Clear? In yesterday's case, this employer or the firm was not having power to set the wages, rather the firm was a wage taker. Clear? But here the firm or the employer is going to be the wage setter. Now he faces an upward sloping market labor supply curve. Market labor supply curve instead of horizontal labor supply yesterday we were talking about. So market labor supply curve means what? What do you mean by the market labor supply curve? This is like this, which is equal to the marginal cost of labor. Why do we say the labor supply curve faced by the monopsonist is upward sloping? The reason is when he hires these number of workers, he has to pay the wages W1. Clear? So when he wants to hire more workers, for every to attract in the employment, he has to increase the wages of the extra workers, then they will be supplying their working hours. Okay? So in this case, the marginal wage rate will be higher than the average wage rate because extra worker will be receiving the higher wages. Therefore, average wage rate will also increase, or average cost of hiring extra overall number of workers, the per worker wages will also increase as the marginal wage rate for the extra worker is increasing. For example, if a firm has hired 100 workers at 10,000 each, okay, average wage rate is 10,000. Now this firm wants to hire 101 worker. So this firm will pay more than 10,000 to attract that extra worker. When they pay, for example, 12,000 or 13,000, so additional wage rate is now, what is the additional wage rate they are going to pay? 13,000 instead of 10,000. Therefore, average wage rate will also increase. Average, as marginal wage rate is increasing, so average wage rate will increase. So that's why the monopolist is facing upward sloping labor supply curve. Clear? So we find that he is the wage setter, he is facing upward sloping labor supply curve. Can we say there are the barriers for the workers to go any other employer? We find that if he is a single employer, then the workers cannot move to other employers. Clear? But if this is an imperfect labor market, like there is oligopsony, like there are few employers of workers, then workers have the choice to go to other employers as well. But that's very limited. Clear? Now I am going to draw the two diagrams. One is the monopolist diagram in the product market, then I will have the monopolist diagram to show you how will he have the different behavior in product market and in labor market. He is using or exploiting his power of selling the product at higher prices and setting the wages in the labor market at lower level. Now I am going to draw both the diagrams. If I ask you, will you be able to draw the monopolist diagram, how monopolist is maximizing the profit? Anyone can draw. Here, do you remember what we did in our previous lessons? This is the downward sloping demand curve, which is equal to average revenue, and marginal revenue starts from the same point, but it is twice cheaper than the average revenue. So what is the profit maximizing level of output? Where marginal cost of production is equal to the marginal revenue. Now the firm will set this price, which is equal to average revenue. Alright. Now come towards the monopolist. This is the monopolist in the product market. Monopolist in product market. He is the price setter in that market. What he is? The price setter. He sets the price along the demand curve. Now what the monopolist is going to do in the labor market, what he is doing, he is facing an upward sloping labor supply curve, which is also equal to average cost of labor. As demand was equal to average revenue, now he is in the cost side, so he is facing an upward sloping labor supply curve, which is overlapped by average cost of labor. Average factor cost, some of the books are writing average factor cost or average cost of labor. We are dealing with the labor market, so we write average cost of labor. Now here, look here, marginal revenue is cheaper than labor will be steeper than the average cost of labor. It is inside. Although they start from the same point, you can see over here, like this thing. Clear? Now, how many workers this monopolist will hire? That will depend upon value of marginal revenue product of labor. Okay? Now, I am drawing the marginal revenue product of labor. This is what? This is the demand of labor, which is value of marginal revenue product of labor. Clear? So, how many workers this firm will decide to hire? Look here, where marginal cost of labor is equal to marginal revenue product of the labor. So, these number of workers the firms this monopolist will hire. So, what wage rate he will pay? Do you think he will pay this wage rate, which is the marginal revenue product of labor? Do you think this wage rate he will pay? No. As he was the price setter, now he is the wage setter. He will pay the wages equal to average cost of labor instead of the marginal revenue product of labor. In perfect competition, we studied the wages were equal to marginal revenue product of labor. But here, in case of imperfect labor market, as the monopolist or the employer is having more power to set the wages, so in that case, he will set the wages along the supply curve. Along the supply curve, and the wages are not paid according to marginal revenue product of labor. Instead, they are paid equal to the average cost of labor. Now, in case of imperfect labor market where the employer is the wage setter, he is paying lower wages than the competitive market. This is imperfect competition rather than perfect competition. The wages are lower. Same is the case in the product market where there was a single seller. He was setting a higher and higher price in order to earn supernormal profit. Do you remember, if I draw the average cost of the product, this is the profit where the average cost of labor is lower than average revenue and the firm is able to earn supernormal profit. So how this cost of production is minimized? How he has achieved this supernormal profit? That happens in the labor market. He is paying lower wages. The average cost of labor is very low. Therefore, he sets a higher price in the market, product market, whereas he is paying lower average cost of labor to the workers, and he is able to earn what type of profit? Supernormal profit. Follow my point or not? This is how imperfect labor market works. Clear? Should I go ahead for the trade union?